pronounce how to.
We're ready.
Norma, Norma. Norma, Normita, Normita.
We are ready.
All right, we are live. I mean,
Yeah, we are
did I
live.
say all this again, or
Good.
we can move
No,
on?
no, no, no. Don't say this. Don't say this all again. No, no, no. Well, today,
Why
good
doesn't
morning.
everybody have their freaking cameras on? I see some cameras off. I ain't gonna call no names, Edward.
All right, Miss Tiffany. Thank you. But you know,
iPhone 22.
today,
Where you at?
well, today, we have Miss Tiffany Polite on the call because she's gonna come talk to us about the power of showing up with the right energy. And who best to talk about that topic than
Tiffany.
Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany, but not about fake, not no fake energy, not no fake
No, no, no.
positivity. It's something that's we're not pretending to be something. We are basically working with intention with the energy we're bringing to the table. So, I mean, Tiffany, you don't need an introduction. You're already Miss Senator. So we have Tiffany Polite to talk about the power of showing up to the right with the right energy. So how you
Yeah.
doing today, Miss
Welcome,
Tiffany?
Good
Welcome.
morning,
Welcome.
everybody. First of all, thank you so much for asking me to come on and for inviting me. This is so amazing. Like, I haven't been on your calls before. Forgive me. As you guys know, I do hold a position at the corporate office, and sometimes I have to teach on a different class early in the morning. But it's so nice to see so many familiar faces and also people who I'm learning, like Wanda. I know I met you at the award ceremony. We've had some communication, Jorge, and it's so nice to see, like, you guys are top producers, and this is what top producers do. They get up and they make it happen first thing in the morning. So give yourselves a round of applause for being up so early and for being committed to showing up, right? Because that's always the way to kick off your day. So
Rise and shine.
rise and shine and rise and grind, Norma. I mean, it depends on what you're feeling for the day. You know what I'm saying, sister? Shoot. So they wanted me to talk about the power of positivity, and really it's just about being true and being authentic to yourself, right? And as you're waking up in the morning, this is called Mindset Monday, but let's be honest, your mind can definitely affect your day, right? How many of us, and be open and transparent, how many of us have had a really terrible day the day before, then it trickles over into your day, and so when you wake up, your mind is already like, oh my God, I remember, right? How many of us that's happened
Not
to?
me.
Oh, yes.
Not you, Norma?
Always.
I
No,
don't know. It's a human thing. It's a human thing.
Of course,
But
everybody.
I'm telling you guys, seeing the silver lining in anything can always present a better outcome for you, right? How you look at something, it takes the same amount, I'll put it this way, it takes the same amount of energy to think negative than it does the same amount of energy to think positive, right? And the thing about it is, even for me, you are going to have those days that you're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. It's so much stress. The office is in shambles. This is happening. This is going on. And you're running like chaos, right? And even some of the leaders on here, I know this is on YouTube and it's being recorded, but you stepped into roles and the offices were on fire, right? And things were like, what in the heck is going on? You got to get this, and but what you do is you take a step back and say, okay, how can I be a leader? How can I step forward and take control and demonstrate positivity to change things around? And if you look at every single one of your offices right now, you guys have tons of blue diamond, double diamonds, top performers. You guys have been elevated from roles of agents to leaders to now leadership. And that's a mindset shift, and that's a positivity shift. And that's how you show up every single day. And when you do those things, look at the positive things that attract to you, right? You take over an office, it's not going that great. Your mindset has changed, your behavior has changed, all these things. And now everything is starting to bloom and come into fruition, and things are coming left and right, positive things. You're having new agents on board. You're teaching more classes. People are wanting to come to your offices now. So it's really about a mindset thing, staying positive, looking at the silver lining, and showing up with what you want to demonstrate from what you want to attract. I always say positive energy attracts positive energy and full transparency.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think also, earnings affect our clients. So the way that we show up, when we have a client consultation, I always say, like, no matter what happened at home, just leave it there. Whatever you get caught off on traffic on the way to the office, leave it there, and be able to focus on that moment and create that energy for that moment that you're meeting with your buyer, meeting with your seller. Because I feel like people work with you depends on how you show up and
Right.
how you present yourself and how much confidence you're showing up there at the time of meeting with a client. So I feel like myself, I do a little Tony Robbins dance before to get my energy up before I got important meeting, just so that I can shake it off. Whatever's going on, shake it off and show up. As I've always used that saying, no matter what's going on, dress up and show up. That's one of the things that I try to apply to my life. But Tiffany, you've been, you're a mom. You are director of coaching. You are, doing your own business out there as well.
A senator.
How do you maintain this high top energy and then all this love? Because I see you sometimes in the meeting in the morning at the office. Then she's talking about her real estate career, and then at night she's on a basketball game. I'm like, how do you do all that?
And she's one of the director of Aura.
Yeah, let me add that on
You have
top.
different hats.
She's a woman.
So exactly, and that says it all. Thank you so much.
That's what it is.
That says it all. I love learning. I love pouring into people. I love attending things, and I love building relationships. Right. So when I get up, I look forward to doing those things. When I go into the office, I'm literally like, hey guys, I drop my bag. I don't get myself set up. I drop my bag. I change from my flats to my heels, and I good morning everybody's ass to death all the way down the hallway. Good morning. How's it going? Good morning. How's it going? All the way down. Joe always has his door closed because he's always in a meeting. But when I catch him in the hallway, I good morning him too. So starting with work, like I just really show up how I want my day to go. I set my tone for the day. And I already know from the day before, because I'm such a planner, I have a meeting here. I have to show up here. I have a board meeting here, or I'm in the Women's Council. I'm in NAREP, or I'm in WCR. So I'm very planful of what my day looks like. And I know how I set my tone as soon as I start the day. If I have a not so great morning, I'm cranking up my gangsta music when I'm driving to my next thing. And I'm like, me and Cardi talking, I'm in my gangster music, but I tell you, when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna praise the Lord first. But he understands the sister needs to crank up a different tune right now as I'm changing, right? And sometimes the day doesn't always go again, like you said. Maybe you're driving in traffic and you're running late. Even when I was logging on this morning, because my computer's been, sleeping for the last few days since I was out of town. It like did something crazy. And I said, oh no, you're not about to give me this energy. I'm not about to show up late. Like, okay, I'm about to shut this whole damn thing down. I'm going to crank back up. I'm going to go get my damn tea, and you're going to be ready. And when I came back, of course, I had to log in, do all the things, and it still did it. So I do a lot, and I know I have a lot on my plate, but I want to show up for people 100%, right? I want people to always have the best of me and not what's left of me, especially my son. So as I'm going through my day and I know that I have a board meeting, I know that I'm in a million committees on Florida Realtors and committees at Aura, and director at Aura, and this and that. I'm so planful about what my day looks like, and my son will always get the best of me no matter what it is. So if his game is 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and sometimes we have to travel 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours for some of his games, and I come home, I will be right there looking cuckoo crazy in the freaking stands, cheering for my baby, cheering for his team, because I want everybody to always have the best version of me. And now it does not happen 100% of the time, right? And that's just being honest. That's just being human. Some days are better than others. Sometimes you're processing things in your head. But you always want to just make sure people get the best of you, because people always remember how you make them feel. They really
Yes. I always say that. Maybe they'll remember your name, But
Yep.
they always remain how you
Yeah.
make them feel.
Yep, how
Cool.
you make them feel when you present. You never know what, and if somebody can be having the most terrible day, you present them with a smile, and your energy pours into them, and now they're like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad, right? And people can tell from other people's energy. Like, hey, ask a question, give a compliment. You guys compliment people. When I tell you, when you give somebody a compliment and you don't know what type of day they're having, it could really turn their day around, right? So it's just those little things. Always show up for the best and be the best of you so nobody gets what's left of you.
So
Like I
basically,
say, energy don't lie.
Energy
basically-
doesn't lie.
Doesn't
It
lie.
doesn't lie. And I'll tell you guys, even when I was running for state, right, Caesar?
Miss Senator, yeah.
When I was running for board of director, you know, I have never ran before. This was my first time running, and I was like, oh my God, like some of these people are in big organizations, right? NARAP and NARAP. And some of them have been in the industry longer than me, and I've seen them in different committees longer than me. So I'm like, all right, girl, like you've only been in 3 things, you know, you've served on one committee for 3 years, and yeah, you go to events and things, but you're up against some tough cookies. But I tell you, like I was getting phone calls, you guys, people saying, oh, I just want to talk to you because I see your Instagram and I want to see if that's really the person you are. And, you know, is your personality really like that? I would sit on the phone with people for 30 to 45 minutes, agents calling who I've never even met before, who were like looking at my social media, looking at my Instagram, you know, all the things. Hey, even, you know, going all the way back to like years back. Oh, I saw you into da 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 da. I'm like, well, that was a long time ago, but yeah, I did, you know, and just knowing like how you put yourself out there, it attracts people. And my votes were a landslide from everybody else. And when I say a landslide, and I didn't get to count them, but we had our own personal counters. But as we went and received like who got board seats, they call you by the order of number of votes, like who had the most, you get the longest term, et cetera, et cetera. And my counter, when she came back and they did it after they made the announcement, she slid over and she's like, you won by a landslide. And after I was, you know, you're humbled in that moment, but you also know how you show up to people, right? When I show up to my events, I talk to the person in the corner who I've never met. I'm always smiling at people because you never know who somebody is, when you're going to engage with them again, when you'll see them again, and the difference you can make as, you know, a friend, right? A friend, a partner, all those things. So, yeah.
And I love that. It's great. It's great because what I'm hearing from everything you mentioned is one, someone's always looking. Someone's always looking. And number two is you make a choice every single day. Every single day you make that choice. And we all have the same opportunity to make that choice to show up. And what I love what you said, that you don't, you know, you still face challenges, because when you're making that choice doesn't mean that you're ignoring the challenges. You know, it doesn't mean that you're going to ignore them. It just means that, oh, sorry.
Don't get choked up, Caesar. I'm here. I'm here for a long time, Caesar. Don't get choked up. You don't have to cry, Caesar. Get it out.
It doesn't change. It doesn't change the way you show up, even when the time is difficult. That's what I'm trying to say. And I like that, because there's a conscious, intentional choice that you make to make sure that even if things are not going the way you thought they should be going, or the way it should be going, you still choose, because one, there's always someone looking. And look at the example you gave. No matter what, people they were looking at you to see if they can catch something that was off about you. Because it was
But you know what, you guys know, Caesar, and you and I actually have talked about that before, right? I'm like, oh God, I'm in this new position. And there's always eyes on you. There's always eyes on you, and cameras and all those things. But one thing that I will always do is show up authentically myself, right? If I'm the girl who knows the line dance, I'm going to get out there and do the line dance. If I knows I got Meg Thee Stallion knees, I'm going to show my Meg Thee Stallion knees, because that's what I want to do. Like I show up as my authentic self. You don't know who Megan Thee Stallion is?
No.
What? Caesar? You need a whole nother class for that.
You
Oh my God.
about it.
Get it together, Papa Caesar. Anyway,
Okay.
she's a popular artist, but she's like a lot of dancing and, you know, movement, and and
Mhm.
she uses her knees like going up and down, and people say Meg the Stallion
And
needs
show
to do
your
it.
booty.
It's well, I'll give you a whole class about it later. Anyways, but like I show up as my authentic self. Like I'm not going to be the girl standing in the corner just because, well, it's the thing to do. No, like I like to get out there. I like to mingle. I like to dance. I like to have a good time. You know what I mean? And people want to be around people who want to have a good time, right? And going back to what Priscilla said, like even showing up that way for your clients. I'm dealing with a seller right now, and we have to get some electrical work done. And I know he's already freaking out on his side, right? So if he's freaking out on his side, I can't be freaking out on my side, right? I have to balance him. I have to say, listen, no, we're going to get this done. This is the step. Hey, this is where we're at right now. You talk about the positive, you talk about the solution. Anytime someone wants to talk about a problem, let them talk about the problem and say, oh my God, that's terrible. Give them the feedback. Great. So now what's the solution? Right, your agents, your clients, like you have to come up with that solution. You have to be the light in these transactions and in people's lives and in your agents' lives and in your family's lives, like all the things. That's your responsibility, and how you show up and the difference you can make in somebody's life. So when you're walking into a room, Cheryl, somebody's like, Cheryl, everybody remembers you from your jokes, right? And it was funny to make fun of yourself, like, oh, I went to the back. My husband said no more jokes. No, be your authentic self. Tell those jokes, girl. We will laugh. Funny or not funny, we're gonna laugh. You know what I mean? Because that's your authentic self. That's what you like to do. You like to step outside the box and be creative. You like to show up and make people smile. You like to make jokes. You like to be involved. Like those are the things that you like to do. So Cheryl needs to show up as Cheryl every single day and show up the way you authentically would. And I promise you, you will attract what is meant for you, and the positivity surrounds you. It really does.
I'd love you saying that too, because I feel, especially in this business, we have so much up and downs. We got on the contract, we super excited, inspection comes, and we down again, and then we had to put our working hat on, a professional hat on. And if it is like you said, if you have a client that the seller is freaking out for any reasons, we had to be that center. We had to be solution oriented. That's or basically our job, to guide
That's what
them
they
in the right
hire us
way.
for.
And
Oh, yeah,
not freak out with them.
Give them peace.
Yeah.
That is very important in a process, the buy and sell. You have to give them peace. You know,
Yeah,
you
because
are crazy inside you, but you give them
Yeah, because
peace.
remember, they're sometimes these people are that's like the biggest investment they're making in their whole life.
Of course.
Like the only biggest, like the only one they've ever made that big.
Mhm.
And if you're not responding the correct way, if you're freaking out over an inspection report, if you're doing this, if you're doing the third, and they don't feel that you know, on top of have the confidence, just the confidence in itself. Because if you have confidence, then you can bring the energy. Because when you don't have the confidence, that's when you can't bring that energy. When there's something off, when there's something you feel that you're insufficient, there's something that you're lacking. There's no way that you can bring the energy if if you believe that you're lacking in something. And if you're lacking something in the process, what you should do, go learn about it. Go figure it
learn.
out. You'll figure out, take the training, take the necessary classes. That way you don't feel that way. And then you can be confident and bring that energy to the table that you need to bring so others can see that, because there's always someone watching. And the last thing you want is your client to feel as if, oh, I don't think I trust his decision. I don't think I trust his recommendations, because he's kind of he's stressed out more than me, and he's not even buying the house.
And they
you know,
can feel it. They can feel that. If you are insecure, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
I learned something back in 2015. That was my first time going to Tony Robbins event. I know we have another one coming up. And when I said that Tony Robbins event changed my life, it really did. And the way that I learned how all this concept of how to basically set up my day, how to be able to get up and just set up my day the night before. I learned, okay, this is what my schedule is going to look like, not overwhelm myself with 20, 30 minutes to do. So be able to tackle the bigger tasks in the morning. But one thing that I learned that really changed my life out of the 3 or 4 days, and I have been going every year since then, it was to do my morning's prayer, to get up in the morning and set my tone. And be able to visualize how my day was going to be. Like today, Even though I was telling Cesar this morning, I'm Cesar, we have a full schedule, but I'm excited for the full schedule. I already said on my tone, this is going to be a great day. We're going to be able to accomplish so much today. Instead of seeing myself like, oh my God, I don't even have a time to go to lunch today. It's crazy.
Who
But I
cares about
switch it
lunch?
up to it's going to be a very productive day. And sometimes we need that little reminder of not to start off your day, get off the bed and go straight to work and just, let the day decide how your day is going to be instead of you deciding.
Correct.
And I highly recommend you guys to attend to those little trainings. I mean, you can do once every couple of years, but it really changed your focus. Where your focus goes, that's where your energy flows. So it really changed that mentality and really helps you to be able to be more productive. And not only on your business, because if your personal life not going well, or business will not go well either. And I remember one exercise that he had that was very profound for me, that he said, okay, you are the car and there's four wheels. And each of the wheels represent an area of your life. It could be your finances, it could be your personal life with your other half. So each of them representing something, and we have to kind of like be very honest for ourselves and give us a rate on each of those. And that way we knew where we need to put our energy on. Because he said, if you have a flat tire, your car is not gonna drive well. So how can we balance our life and be able to have, like you said, Tiffany, that positive energy, but decide that early in the morning how your day is gonna flow.
I love what you said that, because all that is being intentional about what you're doing, because that's the worst thing, that you wake up and you have no, like, you ask the question, what I'm gonna do, and you don't know. That's a very, that it puts you not in a good spot. It puts you mentally not in a good spot. So that's why it's so important to really set your goals, to really understand kind of an idea of where you're headed, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, because having all that is that creates that confidence that we're talking about, that's going to give you the energy to be able to show up, because sometimes if you don't know where you're going, so you don't even know first what you need to be
Do
doing.
your first
Exactly.
step. Mhm.
So it's just something that we all have to. I mean, we hear it all the time, but why don't we do it? You know what I mean? We hear it every year. We got to do this. We should be setting up your goals in November, October, but why don't we do it? What is happening? What is the gap that we can close that allows us to really, understand that we need those things, and don't let the years pass by. I mean, and you're not living your full potential because of the fact that you just haven't sat down and just written what you want to, what are the things that you want to accomplish. That's it. That simple little thing sets your schedule, sets everything, because of the fact that now when you're planning your week, you're planning based on what you want to accomplish. So then you're working with intention, you're working with a goal in mind, with something in mind that's driving you forward, because that's what's going to give you that confidence and the energy to drive you forward, that you're looking for that goal to get to that point. So Cheryl, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question for Tiffany. In reference to what Priscilla was mentioning, you know that sometimes we have, like, we start with like having that positive energy, but things happen, like the flat tire. How you do to maintain your good energy and your positivity when things in the way are not going the way that we expected or we
Good point.
want it to be? How you maintain your energy during those not that good moments on during the day?
So let's just take, for example, and Lord, I'm not asking for a flat tire. I'm just giving this as an example. Let's just say, for example, you do have a flat tire, right? What's the positive look into that? You have a car. You have a car. I have a car that can have a flat tire. Thank you, God, that I can have a car that has a flat tire that's helping me make money to take these clients out, show houses, go to listing appointments so that I can have the money to fix the tire for the car that you've blessed me with. Like, you really do have to take a step back sometimes. And you guys, listen, there's been times when I've been in like a negative state of mind and I've just kind of lived there and I've spiraled down, 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 down. And that was just my day. And that was just my day. Like, you guys may not see it, but it's, again, that was my day and that was my truth. And that's what I was living in at that moment. But what I'm not going to do is continue to just be Debbie the downer. Sorry if there's a Debbie on here.
Correct.
but Debbie the Downer, and just keep going on and on and on and on about it. Like, A, nobody wants to hear about the problems, right? Again, let's talk about the solution. And then B, you're just pulling yourself down. And Priscilla and Cheryl, to go on to that, or to add on to that, when Priscilla was talking about like starting her day from the day before and even in the morning, like, even if it's not 20 minutes, it's not 15, 5 minutes of just stillness in your space, in your mind, can make such a difference, right? I get up in the morning, and let me tell you guys this. I used to get up in the morning and my pastor was like, girl, I think you're doing too much. And I'm like, I'm not doing too much. I was writing a scripture, I'm writing my gratitude, I'm listening to a sermon. Like, I was doing the absolute most, right? And I wasn't really, I was getting the word and getting the energy that I needed, but I was still doing too much to the point where I wasn't like feeling that. There was something I wasn't learning when I was moving through that season of my life. So now when I get up, I say my prayer, I read my scripture, I take 5 minutes of just stillness. You know what I mean? Just being still, listening to like my fan, or listening to outside if it's nice. Sometimes I'll go out by my pool in the morning, but just being still in your space to allow your day to start to come forward. And you look at like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to my meeting. Oh my God, I can't wait for this. Thank you. Gratitude starts. I'm telling you, if you start your morning with 5 minutes of stillness and just say a couple of thank yous, thank you, God, for this breath. Thank you, God, that I get to do these things, right? Priscilla said, Caesar, oh my God, we got a long day ahead of us, but I'm ready for my day. You know what? You get to do that, Priscilla. You were chosen by your leaders to lead two offices, to lead these agents, to do these things. You get to do that. That's a blessing. You know what I mean? That's not something that you take for granted. There's so much talent that we have here at La Rosa. It's a blessing that you get to do it. And so you have to look at those things in that light. You just really do. But it really does start in the morning. And I'm telling you guys, just 5 minutes of stillness. And if some of you, because I'm like, I'm one of those who like, I gotta go, 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 go. Like, I like being busy. I like keeping it moving. But my 5 minutes of stillness in the morning is so for me. And that's
It's
what you owe
non-negotiable.
yourself. Yeah. And that's what you owe yourself. And just as you're there in your mind, think of your day, plan your day, set it up in your mind, right? What you envision is what can happen, and you walk through those steps, but be grateful for it. Oh my God, thank you so much that I get to go to my new office in St. Cloud, and I get to have a class there. And God, this is my first class. And you just feel the gratitude, and you start your day of like, man, like, I'm going to kill this. And look at me being a damn team lead, and look at me having new coaches in my office, and look at me having a bomb ass grand opening, and look at me and my team that I have here. And, you know, like, you set your day in the morning and really set your tone, but envision that. Sit in stillness, you guys, at least for 5 minutes. I'm telling you. I'm
Well,
really telling
I
you.
get what you said about that stillness part. It takes me, for example, I've tried that just because I'm similar mind. My mind is going. I'm always thinking of what to do, and sitting for it takes me about 20 to 25 minutes of actual sitting with nothing, no music, no distractions, no phone, no nothing. About 20 to yeah, about 20 minutes to actually have my mind clear. Because the first 20 minutes is just your mind
You're going, going, going.
racing until everything kind of slows down after like 20 minutes. And then from there, it just is a whole nother level of clarity. And I do this practice, I practice this as well when I go to the gym. I choose not to wear headphones or music so I can stay focused and not be distracted in your head with music always constantly going. So I practice that as well, doing that. Even though there's a lot of noise everywhere, but it's just the whole thing I've always worked out with music and being able to like overcome that part of just going with just overcoming that part of not working out with music. That's helped me a lot too, to be able to keep my mind more still, aside with the
You're
stillness of at least 20 to
overstimulated.
25 minutes.
Norma know this word, overstimulated. Sometimes we are overstimulated with so much noise and so much going on. And I think even our kids, this next generation, there's a lot of distraction out going on at all times. So it's really hard to be able to focus. But if we do at least for a couple of minutes a day, it will promise you will make a huge difference to set up your tone. Wanda.
Yes, I just want to add to that, for me, mornings, I have to have um, my moment, my time, my me time. And in order for me to do that, I have to get up early. I have to have that moment when nobody's awake. Um, Yeah, I feel like 5 o'clock in the morning for me is the best time because I get up,
Mhm.
I take time to do my ritual, my habits with, my yoga that put me in another 15, 20 minutes to put me in another, my energy change, my mood change. I love to take some time to meditate and to pour something, read something, and to have my cup of coffee. That's like my my cup of coffee, sitting in my couch and have that time to enjoy it. So but if you don't take that time, if I don't take when I don't take the time to do that, I feel like my day doesn't go as well. Like I have to have that, my cup has to have full first in order for me to be able to pour into my day.
Mhm.
So in order
Wanda,
for
if
me to do
somebody,
that, I have to, okay, set up the intention to get up early. When I don't get up as early and, stay in bed, then I feel that that enjoyment or that hour that I have for myself is not there. So my cup is not as full.
That's
So
good. I love that. And have you guys read and I tried to look to see if it was on my bookshelf, but it may be next to my bed. I want to say it's called Mindful Mornings or something like that. 5 a.m. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where he goes in and he talks about how you set the tone of your day. Like you get up in the morning, you read maybe like 20 minutes a day, you stretch, you say your gratitude, your affirmations, like all those things. So whatever your religion is, whatever your belief is, like that truly is what it is. And even going back to, Caesar's point, combining with you, Wanda, you know, 20 minutes sometimes can be a lot, right? Because for us to take 20 minutes, then now we're in our head like, damn, I just wasted 20 minutes sitting here and I haven't even relaxed my mind and now I gotta go, go, go. But if you do like the book Atomic, no, because I'm that person, Caesar. Like I was that person of like, I got to sit here for 20 minutes. And then for 20 minutes, I'm like, damn, okay. And then I'm making a to-do list and I'm like this. And then I'm like, oh, cricket. And then I hear like the fan go, doo, 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 doo. Like, all those things. But
Tiffany, the book is Miracle Morning.
Miracle Mornings. Yes,
Miracle
yes.
Morning.
Miracle Mornings. And it's like this thick. So you can read it
I have it.
and you can do the audio. And it really does tell you about setting your day. And while everybody says the same thing, if you're hearing something and people are saying it's working over and over and over again, and you're hearing those same conversations, it really does work. But going back to the 20-minute meditation, Atomic Habits, I read that book not too long ago, and it talked about just changing one little, like 1% every single day, right? Thank you, Magda. 1% every single day, right? So if you can't do 20 minutes, because let's be honest, even waking up at 5, like for people who are not early risers, Priscilla, you have kids in high school. My son is in high school. They have to be there at 7:20, right? So they're up 5:30, 6 o'clock. So going back to Wanda's time, like if you want your alone time without the door slam, this, that, music playing, you know what I mean? Like my son is doing, God knows what, he's in a full concert on his side of the house. You can hear it. But for you to have that time, you have to get up early for yourself, right? And so what does that look like? If you're not a 5 a.m. riser, or for those of us, Cheryl, you'll get here, when your kid goes from elementary to middle school and that time change is different, it hits you different in the morning. So how are you going to make those changes? It's just 1% every single day, right? Maybe, hey, I don't get up at 5. I'm going to get up at 5:30. And then I'm going to try 5:30 for a week or a week and a half, 2 weeks. And then the next week, I'm going to get up at 5:25. You know what I mean? So it's a little progress, but that little bit of change makes a difference in you because you're like, damn, look at me.
Yeah.
I could get up at 5 a.m. Check me out, right? Even going to the gym. When you have something in front of you and you're marking it off, right? Now you're like, well, I can't skip a day. Like my calendar is going to be messed up. I need to, mark through my calendar that I went to the gym. Now, Caesar, I don't know how you're in the gym with no headphones. Like that's a God-given talent. Because for me, I need something to be like, I'm on the treadmill, like running and doing dance routines. They're probably like, can somebody get this girl? Right? Like that's me. I'm changing my music. 1 minute I'm praising God, the next minute I'm doing something else. Like I'm all over the place, but I need that like beat to like keep me going.
Yeah.
But I
And
tell
it
you,
looks different for
I
everybody.
want to say something about what you're saying really quick. I know we got a couple hands. Just one last thing, one quick
yes,
thing
go ahead.
is the fact that you mentioned a lot of things, but one thing that we all need to make sure that we're giving ourselves is grace.
Oh,
Because
yes.
if we don't give ourselves grace, then if things are not going to be good. Because our mind's automatically going to go to what's worse. And we have to give ourselves grace. If you're focusing on 1% change daily, then you have to understand and be okay that it's a small change on a daily basis. We're not going to have the full 100% change, in a full day, in one day. So we have these small increment changes that are going to help improve to get to the bigger one. So
Yeah.
give yourself grace on everyday basis, but not too much grace either.
Yeah. Eric, we have Eric, Jorge, and then Stephanie.
Yes,
Carissa had her hand up too as well.
good morning.
Good
So,
morning.
Tiffany, 1,000,000%, I agree. I do similar. I'm a big early riser, prior military. So, but for me, between 5 and 7, I call it before the people show up time. Because what happens is somewhere from 7 to the rest of the evening, you guys show up. I mean, people.
Right.
And no matter how well you plan, the bombs, the surprises, and they hijack your day. So for me to be successful, I have to have everything planned, routine, everything in place. But I pretty much take care of all that between 5 and 7, and I also meditate during that time. But before the people show up, because the people, I need them to live to make that commission, but boy, they get in the way.
Yeah, and it keeps going, right? And Eric, I love that. And military is so disciplined, and that's what that is, right? You said, okay, I know because I haven't been in the military, but right from hearing, I know I got to be up at this time. We have to report at this time, this, and this. And to take that into your business is such a blessing because you can structure your day and you know how to accomplish tasks. Hey, from this time to this time, I have to show up for me. And Eric is number one priority because if I'm not well, I can't pour into others at being sick, being, depressed, being sad. Like I can't do the things I need to do to perform to be the best of my ability, serving to my purpose. So I know that this time is for me. And when you neglect that and neglect yourself, that also trickles into your business. So I love that you're getting up so early and committing to that and saying, hey, I'm going to get up because the early bird gets the worm. And then when the rest of y'all get up, I've already eaten half of the worm at this point in time. Get my leftovers, people. Take my leftovers.
Thank you, Tiffany, for sharing that. We have Jorge. We got 4 more people. I know we only had 10 more minutes left. So
yeah, real quick, Tiffany. So you mentioned, and everybody else is mentioning about different systems that everybody uses in order to create a mindset, right? Would you say that this is a daily routine that you will suggest for everybody to create in order to structure it and then being consistent on that in order to just follow and see it as a seamless every day rather than just forcing? Would you say that that's something that you follow?
So what I would suggest, right, Jorge, you look at what your day looks like, right? And write it out. One thing that I will tell you guys, don't jam pack your calendars, right? Like don't do it. You look at a calendar and say you take it, how they have like a time schedule sheet, right, to plan your day and it starts at 5 a.m. and it goes all the way to down at 10 p.m., right? You don't have to fill every single freaking slot. Like you don't have to 5 a.m. and I got to get up and do this. 6 a.m. I got to get up and do this. Like you're not trying to kill yourself. You're just trying to create a structure and be disciplined. So if 5 a.m. is not your thing, homeboy, 5 a.m. is not your thing, but maybe 6, maybe 7, right? Be authentic to who you are and what works for you and your business. If you ain't got no kids, go ahead and get that extra hour of sleep and wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock. And that's okay. That does not mean that you are not going to perform to the best of your ability. You get a few extra hours to sleep in, do your thing, right? But throughout the day, that's when you're going to fill your stuff in, and you want to be productive. You want to give everything. When people say, oh, I'm multitasking, you're really not multitasking. Your brain can't function that way. You focus on one thing more
Thank
than
you.
That is true.
There's no
I'm doing
multitasking.
multiple.
Yeah,
I am multitasking because I'm doing 2 things, but you're not doing anything. You're 100% undivided attention. So give something that 110% of what you have. Cross that off. Be grateful that you were able to achieve that. That's your win for the day. Even if, for example, I don't know if you came on at that time, but I just got back from vacation. I have a list of things. Dina's blowing up the phone right now with where she's at, this, that, and the other. But guess what? I have my to-do list that I already created from last night on my way home on the plane. And as I cross things out, I'm done with it. I'm not going to look back and stress myself about the things that I could not do. Like Priscilla said, my top 3 things are the top 3 things that I'll take on. I'll get those out, and then I trickle into the rest of like whatever is on my to-do list. So just set your tone. Try something different. Like I just challenge you guys. Today is Monday, right? It's the beginning. It's a new month, new week, and a fresh start. I always say that. New month, new week, and a fresh start. So try something different this week and see what works. And the good thing is, you don't have to write it in pencil. You can write it in pen. So if you need to change it, erase it, that ain't working, scratch it out and plug something else in. And that's okay for you and your business. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
So try a few different things. Even if you're not the person to wake up in the morning and meditate, just try this week for doing it for 5 minutes. If you can't do it for 5, do it for 2. If you can't do it for 2, do it for 1. And then add on another minute and just see the difference. Just sit in stillness. You can just focus on like your fan going. Just pick up a sound and just focus on that for just a minute and allow your mind to just decompress for a second.
That is correct. Thank you, Tiffany, for sharing that.
Thank
That's the homework that we all need to practice. So we had Stephanie and then Edward, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to know what were the 2 books that you had mentioned earlier.
So Magda put them in the chat, but one is
Miracle Morning and
it's
Atomic Habits.
And Atomic Habits.
What was the first one?
The Miracle Morning.
Oh,
okay, perfect.
Miracle Morning and Atomic Habits, those 2 books. We can put it on the chat as well, Stephanie. I will put it on La Rosa chat so you guys have the link. I do like to do audiobooks, but it's up to you guys. I like to like walk in the morning and then listen to a book. But if you prefer to have the hard copy, we can share those information.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Edward lead.
Edward, what's going on?
You muted.
Good morning, everybody. I
Good
actually
morning.
wanted to talk about, well, I guess I don't know if this is even the right meeting, but I've been seeing a lot of changes with companies merging. I think there's some dates that's going to be going on where I don't know about the exclusivity of the listings. So I was kind of curious on how does that affect us with the listings and these mergers with Google and Zillow and a lot of these mergers.
Yeah, that will be a meeting. We do those meetings on Friday.
Fridays,
so we can definitely off the call, we can definitely call you and give you an update. But I know Cesar do all those research on our.
Yeah, I reached out to Cesar before the meeting, so I'll follow up with Cesar after because I understand that really doesn't fit what the Mindset Monday.
No, it does. If it's perfect, and no matter what the merge is, you're gonna be positive about it. That's
of course. But I just want to be able to see some of the changes coming and be kind of prepared for where our business is headed to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you guys can talk about it, and if there's any additional questions to that that the company can support with, I know. For my leaders on here, you guys know that we do have a broker owner meeting on Friday as well. I know your call is in the morning, but if you have to pin that question from Ed to ask Joe and Dina or get some feedback from the corporate staff, you know. I know
Carissa, do you have some question?
No, no, no. I just wanted to add to the conversation, but I think we have plenty of ideas already. Maybe next Monday. I know we're running out of time.
Thank
Lisa, you knew I was wearing my pink glasses today, so you said, you know what? Estefani's come with her pink, and so am I. Okay,
Winning.
that's right. My
Well, thank you, Tiffany. Really, thank you. It's been tremendous value having you on. All the techniques, all the different things that you showed us today is amazing things that we can take on and apply this week moving forward. So thank you so much, Tiffany, for taking the time with us and being here with us for an hour. Really appreciate you.
All right, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tiffany.
Thank you.